All right. What is up, everybody? Another week, another show. At it again. So, yeah, all right. Something actually happened. LeBron signing with the Lakers. And I know that's what everybody's going to be talking about right now is LeBron signing with the Lakers. So, if you want to talk about it, just throw things out there. What are we talking about? How does it complement them? Where do we go from there? What do you want to know? Let's get it going. I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. Probably help if I plug these in. There we go. Some better quality audio. It's probably going to take a minute just to get some people to get in here and want to talk about it, since that's what everybody's going to be talking about. Or do we want to talk about everything else aside LeBron? Because other people signed other places today, too. Whew. Kind of tired today. Like Lance Stevenson signing with the Lakers as well. LeBron's thorn in the side that he's now actually playing with him instead of against him. Paul George deciding to stay in OKC. Chris Paul signing a long-term deal with the Rockets. One thing I saw that is actually hilarious as well as an incredibly smart move, if it's true, was LeBron telling Cleveland to make those trades to get Nance and Clarkson out of LA and into Cleveland, which freed up more space for him. That's hilarious if that's actually true, that he wanted to do that because for that reason. It's a good move if so. So you jumping shit now, Jake? You a Lakers fan now? Or are you gonna stick with the hometown team? I do not know what that says. But hello. Здравствуйте. I can try. Oh, so you're just following LeBron. Okay. I see how you are. I am good, and how are you? LeBron is the GM now of who? Cleveland or of the Lakers? Because he was definitely the GM in Cleveland, but now with the Lakers, it might be a different story. They actually have like a front office to do something. Oh, well, that's nice to know. Yep. LeBron to the Lakers, Lance Stevenson following him along out there. So Lakers instantly jumped up to second favorite to win the title now, behind Golden State. I don't know that LeBron to the Lakers really warrants that much of a jump, but it definitely bumps them up there. I thought it was funny. I actually shared a thing today of LeVar Ball saying how LeBron was going to go to the Lakers because he'd be dumb not to go anywhere else. I said, man, this man knows nothing about basketball. And then LeBron goes to the Lakers. That was about the only thing accurate he said in that entire bit that I shared, though. Everything else was stupid. Cavs now 500 to 1 odds. Well, yeah, I don't even think the Cavs are going to make the playoffs with him gone now. Ooh, McGee's going to. Apparently, JaVale McGee is also going to the Lakers. So, LeBron, Lance, JaVale, are they going to keep Lonzo Ball? Or is he getting traded? Any sports, pretty much. If you want to talk World Cup, I know nothing about soccer really, so out of luck there. But otherwise, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I can give you like scores and stuff, but that's about it. Because I don't understand like how that system works and everything. You can lose and still move on, but then like you win 2 games and get eliminated. I don't know. How many games will the Cavs win? Tough to say. They definitely have a couple good young pieces, depending on how well they play together. Because I think Sexton, uh, Clarkson, and Nance will probably be good, solid players for them for a few years to come. Oh, I know that's going to be hilarious to see what goes on now with LeVar Ball and LeBron, since LeVar was already talking, bad about him. Oh, I'm sure that Kevin Love will get traded now. If they do keep him, they're dumb because they could trade him and get a couple different pieces out of it now. Not just players, they could also get draft picks out of him. So now would be the time to trade Kevin Love instead of hanging on to him because you got LeBron's gone. They ain't got nothing going for him right now. Trade your best player and you can rebuild. But yeah, they keep calling it the Lake Show. That's exactly what it's going to be, is a comedy show because there's way too many things going on right then and there. Kyle Kuzma is off the table though in trade talks with about Kawhi Leonard, but Lonzo Ball is still open. So it'd be pretty funny to see Lonzo get traded to San Antonio. That is a possibility. And yeah, LeVar was just saying the other day how LeBron going to LA along with Lonzo, and they should sign LiAngelo, and that would equal championships. Warriors versus Lakers, that's a very good possibility for the Western Conference Finals. Heard they get DeMarcus Cousins. That's a possibility too. I think they definitely need either DeMarcus Cousins or Kawhi Leonard to go there for LeBron to really want to stay and make something work there. Because if they don't, then it's pretty much just going to be in Cleveland over again, and he's just going to be doing everything. Do they? I thought he was on his way out. Yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah, they only had him on that same thing that Cleveland had him on, that 1 year deal. So yeah, if we want to talk about where he might go, there's either 5 options of where he might go. Glenn, Julius Randle, free agent, possibly. I am back. What's up, dude? I'm here all the time. You know that. Randall could be a free agent. I know a lot of Lakers fans on Twitter have been saying no, keep him, because it is possible to keep him. They would have to extend a couple contracts. I'm trying to think of who the heck it even was. Just heard about LeBron. Yeah, dude, everybody's going nuts about it. Uh, so this isn't who else they got. Oh, I highly doubt they trade Brandon Ingram. I think they want to keep him. I think they see him as a piece that's going to grow and become a great center in this league. The dude definitely needs to put some meat on, though. That dude's so skinny and weak, but he's got good skills. Who else did they get, Glenn? Well, they got JaVale McGee. That's not really a big woohoo. They got Lance Stevenson. That's good for defense, not a whole lot offense. They're trying to get Kawhi Leonard or DeMarcus Cousins, but that hasn't happened yet. Where will Isaiah Thomas go? There's a couple different places. What I'm looking at right now says he could go to the Spurs. He could stay in LA if they decide they want to keep him, which could happen if they end up trading Lonzo. He could go to the Sixers, help out Markelle Fultz. He'd go to the Suns. Obviously, go back to the Suns. And then this has, even going to the Magic. Yeah, it's a possibility. So there's a couple places where Isaiah Thomas might be landing. We'll still have to see how that ends up. I was honestly Caldwell Pope re-signed with the Lakers. Yep, which I think it's a good move. He had a really good season. There was a story that I read that said if the Lakers and San Antonio can't figure something out by like tomorrow morning, that the Lakers are just going to say screw it and not even try to trade for Kawhi anymore. So if San Antonio is trying to get rid of him, then tomorrow morning might be their only option to do so, unless other people are wanting to trade for him. Leonard to the Sixers, that's a possibility as well. Who they're trading for, apparently, anybody except Fultz, Simmons, and Embiid are on the table for trades. Well, yeah, LeBron destroys the Cavs every time he leaves. Did the same thing when he left for Miami. The one thing that I saw that was kind of sad but true at the same time is it said LeBron leaving causes Cleveland's economy to drop. Yeah, the Lakers' odds to go to the finals shot through the roof with adding LeBron. Oh yeah, because nobody's going to want to go to Cavs games now. Nobody's going to be buying Cavs merchandise. Nobody's going to be paying any attention because Cleveland's going to be awful next year. No, I don't think they can't beat the Warriors. I really don't think they do. Yeah, I was just saying that a few minutes ago. It definitely helps their odds to just get there, but just having LeBron doesn't put you as like a guarantee to get there. That's why they're like second favorite to win it all, and I don't see why. Well, I think they might be able to beat the Rockets in a 7-game series, but definitely not the Warriors. Thoughts on the Alabama football team this year? Well, I don't want to think about it because I don't like them, but they'll probably do their usual, go like 11-1 or 12-0, make the playoffs, go to the championship, depending on who they play, may or may not win. Yeah, that's easy when everything goes your way there in Alabama. You got nothing else to do. Wisconsin, man. On Wisconsin. We've had some great arguments here in the comments before whenever Alabama fans get on here. Yeah, well, good. Yeah, then we got the Buckeye fan there, Jake. Glenn, you're from Australia. You don't know Roll Tide. Oh, dude, I know. It's nuts. My dad, has been banking off of them since the 70s. And, when they're not that good, he doesn't say a single thing. But when they're good, all he can talk about is Roll Tide, Roll Tide. See the Yankees wiping the Red Sox off the map. Are they playing again right now? Is that what you're referencing? Oh, yeah. Yep, 11-1. They played. That was a weird series. Yankees kicked the crap out of them the first game. Then the Red Sox beat the crap out of them the second game, and then back to back to the first game. Oh yeah, it's going to be Ohio State, Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game for like years until somebody can figure something out. You know, because the Western Division of the Big Ten sucks, and Wisconsin just rules that division. Until like Iowa or Nebraska is good, then they're going to be there every year. And same thing, yeah, exactly, same thing out east, unless maybe Michigan State comes back to prominence, and I don't see Michigan doing it, and I really don't want Penn State doing it, but it's possible. Is Cam Chancellor retiring? All right, we'll get on that topic. A lot of speculation was saying he was retiring after the post he put it on Twitter, specifically the part that said on to the next chapter. He has not been medically cleared to play. He's not retiring. So I initially thought he was waiting for me. All right. I was on earlier and Patrick bailed on us. Better chance who's playing next year. I think Luck's actually throwing. He's not throwing an NFL ball, but he's throwing a college ball, and they said he will be able to play. And Cam Chancellor has not been medically cleared to play yet, so that's the thing that everybody's speculating. Is he going to be able to play and come back, or is he just going to say screw it and retire? With that post that he posted today, a lot of people are thinking he's just going to retire, but it's still an option for him to come back. Donald asked him why he bailed earlier. I was playing Madden with Doug, and he's like, bro, play with us. And I said, I will right after this game. They played like 2 games, and he left. Luck is going to the XFL. I'm really thirsty tonight. That would be hilarious if Andrew Luck did go to the XFL, because everybody's going to look at that like they did before as like the bad boy league. And that's where all like the bad, like not bad, like you suck players, but like the bad boy players are going to go. Eli going to the CFL. He got off, yeah. Of course he did. He doesn't stay on for very long. You get out, if he's not winning, then he leaves. Yeah, he already cemented his legacy there. Eli did. 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. What else you need? Eli Manning. Giants have Davis Webb, who's been spectacular. Oh, has he? Have they actually been giving him a chance now? Because I know last year that when they benched Eli for that one game, they said that he was far from ready to even being active. OBJ is going to marry the net. Yeah, we've already been through that. That happened last season. Maybe they'll get a divorce this year. Ooh. Really? Okay. Yeah, when I was watching him, am I going to play fantasy? Probably not. I give lots of fantasy advice. Yeah, he does need a net to hold that shoulder. Well, a lot of people do now just because of Saquon Barkley. You bought Drake's new album. I didn't even listen to it. Not my jam. Plus, I think he's super overrated anyway. Not a whole lot. Because most of it's just recycled beats and talking about nonsense. Like this, mostly country, yes. If you go to like my personal Twitter page, there's a video on there of my friend today. We were listening to that two phone song, and because I've got two phones here, and he's like, "Dude, what do you got two phones?" And so I played that for him. But like honestly, I don't even know anything aside from that song that says I got two phones. So I played that for him, and I was like, "Okay, this is literally a song about why he has two phones." So that's why I don't really care for rap music because the lyrics like don't matter about anything, and it's like the same beats just played over and over again. No, I do. I listen to a lot of music. It's just mostly country, a lot of rock, some alternative stuff. When's the last time anyone said, "Wow, let's buy a Colts jersey"? Where's Tyler these days? Yeah, I don't know. He's probably still at home. I bet even when he comes back down here for school, he probably won't even want to do anything with this. So take his name off the podcast. Need to do a podcast here soon. Maybe we'll do that now since LeBron or something actually happened. We can talk about with LeBron moving on to LA. Oh, well, you got a long ways to wait then. Super teams are going to be the thing for a long time. Now that they've proved that it works, it's just going to keep happening. You guys are just going to keep going back and forth on this, aren't you? Lots of water. Gotta stay hydrated because it's hot outside. We're here just so these two can argue. When's the last time luck threw anything? So you guys just going to keep arguing about that, or do we want to talk about something else now? The mac and cheese at the dinner table. Oh my gosh. What'd you do today? The Naked Files joined. Oh boy. I'm glad we could do this show just so you two can argue about the Giants and the Colts all the time. Yeah, that's very true. Both teams are looking real good. New York's a booming place. Aren't you a Knicks fan too? Yeah, so everybody's thinking Cam Chancellor's retiring. In actual, um, they're not exactly sure if he's going to retire or not because nothing's been said officially. He is not medically cleared to play, so he is still on contract with the Seahawks. No, well, they signed Mario Hezonja today. So the Knicks got a little bit better. They got Harp. Yeah, Legion of Boom's dead now, so I don't know if they can really call themselves that. He said Falcons loser. The entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. Well, that's just kind of a generic one. Yeah, everybody's assuming because he said on to the next chapter that he's retiring, but then people have said he's not officially retiring. He might just be trying to get a trade or something, go somewhere else, because he has not been medically cleared to play. But that could be his I am retiring because I am not medically cleared to play. Because he did say, pray for me in the head injuries with Matty Slush. Will LeBron wear 23 with the Lakers? Probably. I haven't seen anything saying he's not. Did I see Wentworth? I watched that little bit where I was watching your stream. If you're a brother or sister of Jesus, he just ain't quoting it. Just pull that whole thing up there. Scared of paralysis. I'm sure a lot of people are in the NFL now. Braun can't play with a bunch of 19-year-olds. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find right now. There we go. If LeBron lands Kawhi, that's going to be a deadly weapon. Oh, of course. Wentz is the future of the NFL. Wentz is a phenomenal quarterback. Oh, I know. That's why I said Stevenson will be good for defense, at least. Does Jack still go to Laker games? Jack who? Let's see. Cam Chancellor, he said, I always prayed to God and told myself that I would play this game of football until the wheels fell off. Well, the wheels didn't fall off, but God has given me a sign that I can't ignore. I've played through all types of bruises and injuries at a high level, but this one I just can't ignore. When the doctors told me what was going on in November, I could feel my heart drop to my stomach. The stiffness in my neck and the images I saw had me at one of my lowest points as a man, because football is all I knew outside of serving the Lord. To walk away from the game by choice is one thing. To walk away from the game because of a risk of paralysis is another. My final test showed no healing. I put all my blood and sweat. Oh, why did it go away? Jeez, 75,000. Where were we? Okay, there we go. It's back now. On the field, off the field, pouring into my teammates, coaches, opponents, and friends, family, and so many more. God has blessed me with an amazing opportunity to show the world my gifts. He has given me in my heart to love everyone and everything. Not everyone and everything has loved me back, but through the grace of God, I've been able to see the good in all and forgive what needs to be forgiven and continue to love anyways. If it weren't for everybody God placed upon me on this journey, I wouldn't be the man ball player I am today. Red Vince is dumping foot. Oh yeah, he put a 500 million into the XFL. I've learned so many valuable lessons that I can take with me on the next journey. How to use them, I don't know yet, but I will wait for this instructions. Love is in the center of it all. I will be for life. I live by the golden rules, Galatians 5:14, and it has helped me touch a massive amount of people. And I pray that they touch massive amounts of people with the love that was given to them. We are all brothers and sisters through Christ, and we're called to work together. Let's not forget that. Forgive, forget, let go, and live on. Love our brothers and sisters. Thank you again for all the support and love for everyone all over. Good or bad, it's all received with love. Time for the next chapter. Lord, take the wheel. Pray for you, boy. I have no clue how these head injuries will go after this game. Yeah, so it pretty much sounds like a clear-cut retirement, but there's a lot of insiders saying that he hasn't officially retired yet. Pat McAfee's a funny dude. Really surprised no other team wanted to sign him or like tried to convince him to stay because he's a good punter. Yeah, he'll play one game and then get off. Who am I supporting in the World Cup? I don't care. I honestly don't even know who's in it. Don't need a punter because Luck is practicing to punt since he has no arm left. Luck has punted before. Yeah, soccer's not my thing, and I don't understand how all the World Cup stuff works. It's like you could win a game and then lose a game, and then you still can advance, but then like the exact same thing could happen to another team and they'll get knocked out. I I don't get it. You score every drive, yeah, okay. I know everybody freaked out like 2 years ago when they said the U.S. wasn't even going to be in it. Maybe it was only a year ago. I don't know, but they freaked out and then nobody cared. Yeah, there's a lot of funny moments happening though. Like, was it Ronaldo got like slide tackled and he just rolled forever trying to get a card? Like that's pathetic. Excuse me. We had it on at work the other day for a few minutes, and I saw some dude just like literally got bumped, and he like fell over and was like, "What?" Like, God, clock doesn't even make sense. I think they put like an hour on the clock or something, and then they just let it go like continuously. And then like if you're tied, it goes for an extra like 10 minutes or something, 10 or 15. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Put some time on there. Whoever wins wins. Whoever doesn't win doesn't win. Yeah, I don't know. It's just soccer doesn't make sense. What American football at least makes sense. Yeah, I don't know when the game's supposed to end either. What part of football doesn't make sense though? Yeah, right. Okay, but why do you need to add more time to the clock? Why don't you just let the clock run out? So pause it. Why do you have to add time to it? If you have an injury, pause the clock or like take a timeout, and then when you get that guy off the field, continue. But why do you need to add the time though? Why don't you just stop the clock? It's like literally how every other sport does it. It's like somebody gets hurt, the clock just stops. You don't add time to it. That's I don't understand why would you do that? That's dumb. Yeah, Kawhi wants to join the Lakers, but it's a matter of whether or not San Antonio can get what they want out of the Lakers for it, or if the Lakers can get a good enough deal from the Spurs to even want to make the deal. And like I said earlier, I was reading a thing that said if the Lakers possibly could pull out of it in the morning, yeah. So why don't you just stop the clock instead of adding more time to it? That that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you just stop the clock instead of? I think he was down 5 minutes. Let's add 5 minutes to it. So now we have 23 minutes and 52 seconds. I don't get it. Seeing like that too, I don't like. That's what I was saying. Like you could win one game and then like lose two, but like still advance, even though like everybody else won 2 games. I don't know. I don't understand how it works. It's confusing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get this new Madden because I need some updated rosters. Yeah, it's like why does it matter if you score goals? Like you could score 12 goals in one game and then get shut out the other 2 games, but then still move on, even though you have a losing record. Like what? That doesn't make sense. If you win and you move on. Win 3 points, tie one, and lose no points. Yeah, so you could win one game, and then everybody else could like tie, and you're still gonna move on. Like it just doesn't make sense. If you win, you should just move on. No, it's not rocket science, but it just doesn't seem to like I don't get it because it's like if you win, if you win in your group or however they do these tournaments, and you like win 2 out of the 3 games, you should move on. Not I scored 7 goals in this one game, but then lost all the other games, and I still move on. Yeah, I don't know. Groups of 4, yeah. So then the top 2 teams that win that should go on, but instead it's like whoever has the most points based on the goals that they scored or LeBron coming out as a homo. I don't think that was ever official, um, but it'd be quite funny if it was true. Do I know who Nerlens Noel is? Yeah, I know who Nerlens Noel is. He played 1 year at Kentucky and then got drafted by the Sixers, traded to the Mavs. I don't know. They're trying to explain the soccer thing, but it still just doesn't make sense. Like I guess it makes sense if you know what like how it's like played. Oh, that's who he's down to playing for. Well, if he's smart, he might want to go right. No, but it's just confusing because it doesn't like make sense. It's not just like when you go on. It's like, hey, you have to do this and this team has to lose and this has to happen and then you advance. What do we need to talk about the Mets for? They have one of the worst um, records. I am reading the comments. There's just a lot of them. Is he a virus? Well, he could be. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the Mets. Is a hot dog a sandwich? No, it's a hot dog. They're the best team in the league, man. Then why don't they have the best record then if they're the best team? Like I agree the Mets have good pieces, but they're not like putting together wins. Glenn Wyatt, well, Glenn, you don't really have a baseball league there to watch though, because like from what Tyler said before, the Australian league's not very good. But I mean, at least the playoff system in this makes sense. Like you get wins and you get like ranked based on your how many games you've won, and then you go into a playoff. That makes sense. Not the soccer stuff. Hey, as long as you're good at acting, apparently you can be a good soccer player. Yes, but the NFL divisions actually make sense because whoever wins that division goes into the playoff. It's not based on how many touchdowns they score and against what team. Glenn, you barely said a thing about soccer until this one person gets on here and asks about the World Cup. Well, that's what the world is now. You just reuse the same jokes over and over again. Is it though? Like I'm trying to understand how this works, but it just it doesn't even like matter about wins. Like it does, but it doesn't. Yeah. One thing I will give soccer players though, I don't know how in the world they can kick a ball and have it curve completely like way out of the way and then just come right back to where they wanted it to go. Trying to read this how this works here. Netball? What is netball? If you just called basketball netball, that what is netball, Glenn? Okay, now reading this, why does the amount of cards that you get in a game determine how you can move on? Is that just like a type of tiebreaker? Here, no, that moved too fast, Glenn. I couldn't, or bro, I'm sorry, I couldn't read that. Okay, but like, what do you mean? How do you get a tie then? Because if you get a tie, you apparently get a point. But like, I don't know. Because like, I'm reading this, it says Japan lost to Poland, but Japan still advances because they had the fewest yellow cards, yellow and red cards. Who did they tie with? No, like it won't let me do it on this one, but on this one here, it won't let me do it, but on this one, it will. Because like when I try to scroll here, it just goes to where it wants me to stop broadcasting. Just look at the points table. Okay, I'm looking at Group A. Uruguay says they went 3-0, so they have 9 points. So what? They beat Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. So they got 3 points for each one. And then Russia went 2-1. This catfish account asked me based on what the basketball and tennis is more athletic. And your tiebreaker is it the amount of goals you scored or is it red and yellow cards? Because I was just reading on this, it said Japan advanced in their group because they had less cards. Because it doesn't make sense. What are you scoring in? What kind of ball are you using in netball? Well, if the NFL did that to where you don't have as much the penalties, the Raiders definitely would never make it because they usually have the most penalties in the league. Yeah. So I'm trying to find a group here where they all like tied or something. Yeah, we're gonna count the penalties. Hello, how are you? What? Hmm. It's weird because you can just count penalties and goals. I guess I don't get it. So they're apparently past the group stage now. Did they start playing other games? Because I mean, of who's in it, I don't really care who wins. In the round of 16. Yeah. So do they not play each other now? Okay. So then once they get into the round of 16, do penalty kicks decide the win? Because Russia beat Spain. Well, they tied, and then went into penalty kicks, I guess, and went and beat them 4-3. So why don't you just do that for the whole thing? If you tie, go into penalty kicks, and then you win. So once you get to the round of 16, you lose, you're done now? Is that why, like, Argentina and Messi and them are gone now? Because it goes on points in group stage. So in the group stage, it's based on how many points you can earn somehow, and then once you go on to that, then it actually makes sense, and if you win, you can advance, and if you lose, you're out. I dropped my peanut. Okay, but why that seems so unnecessary. Right. How about them Chiefs? Chiefs, I mean. Hello, how are you? Well, the Chiefs are losing everybody, and they've got a really all right, what's up? We're here to talk. The Chiefs have an unproven guy at quarterback who could be extremely exciting to watch, or he could screw everything up. All right, well, what's your dream then? A lot of people have dreams that don't come true. Yeah, I don't know. I guess looking at who's better than the Raiders, yeah, probably, but it'll be close. What's the tiebreaker in American football? Well, if it's in the regular season, you just tie, and if it's in the playoffs, you don't end until somebody scores and takes the lead. All right, so this dream that you're talking about, well, that's the division records based on how that's more like playoff seeding. Let's see, this dream that can't come true is your only wish is to be surrounded by 100 father figures, but they all must have bodies of puppies, yet be able to speak like adult men and discipline you. I want this experience to take place in McDonald's. I'm sure you could get on Craigslist and make an ad for that, and it could happen. What's up, man? Not much. We're just here talking about all kinds of things. We got into the World Cup a little bit, trying to figure out how that works. Kareem Hunt, obviously, he's still going to be a pretty good running back, so they're going to have at least something reliable to go off of. Yeah, man, LeBron to the Lakers. Their odds to win the finals jumped to number two. It somehow or another. Yeah, I told you just get on Craigslist and make an ad for it. It'll happen. I don't know if you'd be able to get 100 right away, but you can get a few, I'm sure. Old enough. How are you? Yeah, I can't watch soccer either. We were talking about how I don't understand. This guy wants 100 father figures, bodies of puppies or something like that. I told him to get on Craigslist and he could probably figure it out. How good is Sammy Watkins? He's there. It's not on here. It's on the YouTube stream. How good is Sammy Watkins? Not very. When he's healthy, he can be useful, but he gets hurt quite often. I watched cornhole. Glenn, you've watched cornhole on ESPN before. Yeah, it's funny that that's become such a big thing that they put it on ESPN now. Now everybody's going to be saying cornhole players are athletes and need to be paid, even though literally anybody can do it. So, Glenn, why didn't Australia make it to the next phase of the World Cup? Are they not good? That's true. There's a reason Sammy Watkins keeps bouncing around because he gets hurt and he can't play for over half the season. What's up? How's it going? They suck. Yeah, well, Japan is the nicest country in the world, so less penalties, automatic World Cup. Are they the nicest, though? I mean, they kind of just came out of America and bombed the crap out of them. Cornhole. Well, it depends on how many beers you drink. Doing all right. How are you? I'm doing well. We got good conversation going this week, so I'm pretty happy with it. They cleaned the stadium after the game. Well, how nice of them. So I guess if you must have a team, FIFA penalized Mexico because the fans were mean to Germany. That's awesome. That's funny. I guess if I had to pick a team to win based on who's left, I don't know. I guess either Russia or France. Well, why do they do that? Tom Brady to retire soon. He's hinted at it a couple different times, saying that he needs to be there more in his kids' lives. He has also said he's gonna play as long as he possibly can. So I think it's close, but nobody really knows a specific time that he's planning on doing so. Yeah, it is. Just based on like how he kissed his kid was weird. Like if you want to kiss your kid, cool, go ahead and like plant one on the forehead, but why you gotta like make out with them? It's a little creepy. That is very true. Because right now, about the only teams Google what the penalty was for Mexico, I forget. Yeah, about the only teams that have a chance to win the NBA title right now are like the Warriors, the Rockets, the Celtics, and Herm Edwards coaching ASU. Love me some Herm Edwards. He's been out of the game for a while though, so I wonder how his coaching philosophy or like how his coaching skills are still, gonna work because he kind of got kicked out of the NFL for not being, greatest coach. Every team has a shot. Yeah, pretty much. Um, I'm not seeing anything on here for Mexico. Mexico's penalty. You predict to win the Super Bowl. Well, the Eagles obviously have a very good shot to do it again. They had a couple guys that were injured that I'm pretty sure Herm nailed the interview. Well, of course, he's a great speaker, and of course, he can just tell you what's going to happen. But um, yeah, so the Eagles they'll be getting a couple guys back to make them even better, I think. Green Bay, as long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy and their defense actually shows up for once, they definitely have a great shot at getting their Patriots, of course, when are they not? The Steelers, I think their window's kind of slipping, but they're still there as of now. If the Jaguars can still have that great defense and be able to put a few points up on the board offensively, then they'll be right there going for a deep playoff run again. Eagles beat the Pats without the league MVP and a top lineman. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Wentz definitely was probably going to win the MVP had he not gotten injured. And their top lineman, Jason Peters, he was out too. So put both those guys back in. Eagles easily go like 12-2 on this, or not 12-2, 14-2 like on the season, and probably blow out the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So getting those two guys back is definitely going to boost them. But other teams are improving. Everybody's always improving. What about the Rams? They were definitely phenomenal last year. They kind of flopped in the playoffs a little bit, but they're a young team. They got some more experience now. They'll be right there in the playoffs again, I'm sure, but it's a matter of how they do in the playoffs. Because I thought they would at least get like NFC Championship game, but they got beat right away. They chanted Puto to the German goalie. That's funny. They fined him 10 grand. Jeez. I mean, if I was Nick Foles at this point in my career, I'd be content with being a backup too. I'm on a winning team, making bank, and I'm for everyone because I can't win to this team. Set the record for like most passing touchdowns in a game. Left, came back, led them to a Super Bowl. So, I mean, his legacy is already written. He doesn't really need to go and do more. He will always be a fan favorite in Philadelphia based on the fact that he got them their first Super Bowl. So he doesn't really need to do a whole lot more than just sit back and collect checks. Plus, this is a system where he plays well. I've always thought that about Nick Foles. Oh, you're out. Gotta be up early. Yeah. All right. Well, have a good night. Come back. Come back next week. Yeah, so I've always thought that about Nick Foles. Like when he was first there in Philadelphia, the system was built to where he would succeed. When he left Philly and he went to the Rams and the Chiefs, that system didn't work well for him, so he didn't play as good. Now he came back to Philadelphia after they changed all their, went through all their coaching changes again, and it's back to a system that works for him, so he plays well. Otherwise, if he's this good, why was he not the starter for the Rams? Why was he not the starter for the Chiefs? It's because he plays well in a specific system, which is a more spread out shotgun type system of what he did in Arizona in college. Yeah, so do I like the Chargers? I don't mind the Chargers. I love Melvin Gordon. Pissed that Casey Hayward left Green Bay and now he's like the best corner in the league because Green Bay was too stupid to re-sign him. Cam Chancellor retiring, so I'd say it's probably a very good chance. I did witness the bet, $100. Is that American or Australian money though? We didn't decide that. At least if you did, I missed it. Cam Chancellor retiring, yeah. So his post on Twitter seemed as though he is retiring, but a lot of like reporters and stuff are saying that no, he's just not medically cleared and he's waiting, I guess, to see what happens. I'm pretty sure he's retiring. That's what it looks like. It's Australian if you lose. Travis Kelsey fan. I don't mind him. He's a really good football player. His mouth's a little annoying, but he's a good football player. He's a tool. So Glenn, it's if you lose, then it's going to be Australian money. So then you would owe him $73.80. But if you win, he has to pay you in Australia, so he'd owe you 135 bucks and 50 cents. There you go. How that works. Yeah, who needs sleep? That's why I'm still here, you know? Even though I think people are trying to get me to play Fortnite right now. I've been told I should stream Fortnite as well. I don't know how well that would go over with you guys. Is the NFL rigged? To an extent, I think so, because the Patriots definitely do not deserve to be where they are every year. But who knows? Maybe. What don't you get about Fortnite, Glenn? I'll be happy to explain. I'm a Fortnite pro. Been playing since it came out. Sleep is a myth. I had to get fillings the other day, but it feels like on my one tooth, he literally just drilled, like, or he just cut off like half the tooth and was like replaced it. Not even like fully replaced it. I don't know. Feels weird. Western Conference is loaded now, and the East is weaker than ever. Yeah, I mean, everybody knew that if LeBron was leaving the Eastern Conference, that conference is going to be garbage. It's going to be between Philly. I think the Eastern Conference Finals next year, if the playoffs or if the seeding allows it, it's probably going to be Celtics Sixers in the finals. Tom's balls are flat. What balls? He doesn't have any. Eating some trail mix. My mom's trying to get me to eat healthier, so she bought me all kinds of food. She's like, if you need to snack on something, here's yogurt, here's some trail mix. It's got a little bit of chocolate in there, so you get your fix, but it's mostly nuts and protein stuff. Like, okay, I didn't have to buy it. Can Andy Reid lead the Chiefs to the playoffs? Yes, but in that division, it's going to be tough because if they don't win the division, I don't think they're going to get a wild card because I don't think that division as a whole is very good. If you go 10-6, you're probably going to win that division. He loses weight. He has lost weight. We're just going to sit here in silence now. Sit here and watch each other. Or most of you watch me and I just stare at myself. Oh, yeah. Well, have you ever watched the video of Peyton Manning playing like pickup football with those little kids in the park? That video is hilarious. Favorite Peyton Manning moment ever, because I'm not a Peyton Manning fan at all. I'm kind of glad that he turned down what Pittsburgh coach was the head coach for the Chiefs? Todd Haley. Now, how old was he? Who, Andy Reid or no, Peyton Manning? Yankees killed David Price. Is that who was pitching tonight? Yeah, they put up some points. That's for sure. Oh, of course Brady takes it. No, I don't want Peyton Manning to do any broadcasting stuff because he's going to look way too far into it, and it's just going to annoy me. Like Tony Romo does that enough, where he just sits there and says, like, "Well, if you look at how this guy's lined up here, he's going to run this kind of route," which we describe it as, uh, yeah, and everybody's going to want Peyton Manning to constantly to be like, "Omaha, Omaha." Or if anybody else ever says it, they're gonna be like, oh, Peyton, Omaha, Omaha, ha, 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 ha. And he's gonna be like, yep. Will Royals make it through the season? Well, I'm sure they'll make it through the season. Very good. No, but yeah, he'd be better than Romo, but they both are gonna explain the game in a way that's just annoying. Right. Or do some sort of drugs to get better at that age. Yeah, because like I'm sure to like the casual fan that just kind of like, oh, I'm a fan of this team. I don't really know how it works, but the things that he explains, I'm sure it makes sense, and yeah, that's cool and all. But like to somebody like myself who's played it or is like just super into it, like trying to be an analyst or whatever, like his commentary is annoying because it's like, oh, can you see the way he's lined up here? He's going to do this. It's like, duh. Why are you telling me this? Do I like Joe? I don't mind Joe Buck. Everybody always hates him, and I don't get why. I don't mind him. It's not like he's annoying or anything. Well, Pats fans are annoying in general because they just want to hop on Tom Brady's wang. Please, the man. Like, I've never seen Ted or Ted 2, but Romo should be a fourth string studio guy. Yes. Yeah, I had never seen Ted or Ted 2, and then my friend made me watch Ted 2 with him. And they did the whole thing about trying to get Tom Brady to be like the surrogate dad for Ted or something. And they're like talking about, they lift the sheet up and his dick's like glowing gold. Like, okay, Patriots fans. Sure, that's exactly what you picture. Do I watch the World Cup? No. Yeah, I was gonna say we had a big discussion about this earlier. It doesn't. It's very unnecessary and doesn't make sense. Like the tournament wise, like go ahead and have the World Cup, but like I don't get win a game, lose two, you can still advance, all that stuff. Like I don't get it. Well, Glenn, don't have a headache. Yes, cornhole is greater than the World Cup. I kind of started to put a time restriction on this. So if you guys got any more comments or questions, real quick before we head off of here, throw them out now. It's 12:30 here, and I'm about ready to shut this down. When are they going to say who's doing Monday Night Football? I don't know yet. Where did Des Bryant go? Hasn't signed with the team yet. He had a couple offers, turned them down because he wanted to wait till after the draft. And now nobody wants him. Fun story: Terrell Owens is trying to come back to the NFL, and he's trying to go to Green Bay, but they're not taking him as of now. In Canada, and it's possible. Yeah. Is your friend going to join the Bills fan maybe for football season? Is who what? Oh, do you think the Bills guy is going to come back? We'll have to see about that. I don't know. He's mentioned it before, but who knows if he's actually going to do it. The other guy, I told him he's fired from the show, so he ain't coming back. Thank you. You have a good evening as well. And when's the XFL, Glenn? That doesn't start until 2020. So that gives him all of this year to get all that stuff set up, all of next year to pick out cities and teams and get them ready to start in 2020. All right. So that's a wrap, folks. We're going to go ahead and jump off of here. Thanks again for tuning in. Come back next week and we'll talk about even more stuff. What is the Grey Cup? It's the Super Bowl of the CFL, Canadian League. Think it will actually start? Yeah, they'll have it for at least a year. Kaepernick will join the XFL probably if he isn't a backup or a third stringer or somewhere by then. But yeah, all right. Well, have a great week, everybody. Happy 4th of July this week, by the way, for American folks. Have fun. Stay safe. Peace. I say that, then I have to end all these other streams.